Have you guys heard this? This is a whole this sound like a whole bunch of BS. The twins that was found unalived in Georgia mountains. Yeah, Georgia need to be turned inside out. They need to feel like they didn't had tornadoes, hurricanes, earthquakes, and tsunamis all at once. I'll be back. Yeah, so I happened to be scrolling through YouTube yesterday and stumbled across this unfortunate story about these twins who just graduated. Qaadir, I believe it's Qaadir and Nazir Lewis bodies were found on Bell Mountain. The twin brothers missed their flight to Boston, found deceased 24 hours later in Georgia mountains. Now you tell me, those who look like me, how often do we go to the mountains? And it's just history with woods in the mountains. Although I used to like going when I was my mother used to take us all the time to Angeles Forest in Northern California. I haven't been there in years, Redwood Forest, and I really don't know when I'm gonna go because they turned it out. They didn't just took the joy away. Every time I looked around, like maybe 15 years ago, they was always finding deceased, bodies out there. And I was like, ugh, y'all done just killed it for me. But yeah, check this out. Their bodies were found in Bell Mountain. Their families dispute the GBI's initial unaliving suicide ruling, insisting the twins wouldn't hurt each other. That don't even make no damn sense. I mean, what was going on in their lives that they, let's just say, okay, it's bogus. I believe it's bogus. But first of all, what was going on in your life that you had to take yourself out and your twin brother who look exactly like you? Second of all, why did you choose the mountains? Where's the phone? Where are their cell phones? Did they test the hands for gun residue? I look at a whole bunch of CSI and FBI one and all kind of criminal shows. So you can't pass this nonsense off to me. Towns County, Georgia, mystery is unfolding. It ain't no mystery because if you go look at the go to the 11 Alive on YouTube and look at all them comments, them black folks like nope. A mystery is unfolding on Bell Mountain in Towns County after the bodies of twin brothers from Lawrenceville were discovered in nearly 90 miles from home. The Georgia Bureau of Investigations is initially treating the case as a unaliving suicide, but the victim's family is pushing back, saying that explanation does not add up. The twins, both 19, were found shot to death Saturday morning by a hiker at the summit of Bell Mountain near North Carolina border. Don't get me started on North Carolina and Georgia. Don't do it. I do a lot of history research, about history pertaining to people who look like me and just history period. Do not do it. The discovery came as a shock to their family who had believed the twins were in Boston visiting friends at the time. We want answers. We want to know exactly what happened to the twins, their aunt Samaria Browner said. The twins were inseparable according to the family members and had no history of conflict. They're very protective of each other. They love each other. Their uncle, Raheem Brawner, said they're like inseparable. I couldn't imagine them hurting each other because I've never seen them get into a fist fight before. Let me play a little bit of their interview of the family. I'll be back.
Say, Cody.
Well, Jennifer, the brothers Qaadir and Nazir Lewis were twins. The GBI says a hiker found their bodies at the top of Bell Mountain on Saturday morning. Both had been shot. The family couldn't believe it when they got the call hours later, knowing the twin brothers were supposed to be in Boston visiting friends.
We want answers. We want to know exactly what happened to the twins.
Nazir and Qaadir Lewis.
Those my nephews.
Just a few weeks shy of their 20th birthday.
I can get past it, they're gone.
The twins' uncle, Raheem Bronner.
They're very protective of each other. They love each other. They're like inseparable. So I couldn't imagine them hurting each other because I've never even seen them get into a fist fight before.
The GBI saying their preliminary investigation points to the twins' death being a murder-suicide.
We knew right away that wasn't true.
Family says the twins had a 7 a.m. flight to Boston last Friday.
Right there, we never heard from them. They missed their flight. We don't know what happened.
24 hours later, the twins' body found 90 miles away.
Okay. The family said the brothers had booked a flight to Boston for 7 a.m. last Friday, but never made their flight. Just 24 hours later, they were found unalive in an area the family said they had never visited before. The family said the brothers' plane tickets were found in their wallets on the mountain. How did they end up at the mountains? They don't hike out there. They've never been out there, Bronner said. They don't know anything about, I don't know how you say this name, Hiawassee, Georgia. They never even heard of Bell Mountain. So how did they end up there? I want to know the demographics. Let me look that up right quick. Let me look up the demographics of this town in Georgia. Sound like a whole bunch of foolery. Let me see demographics. Demographics. Yeah, let's see the racial demographics. Okay. Right. That town, the name that I just, Hiawassee, I believe, Georgia, the racial makeup is predominantly white, with 93.85% of the population identifying as such, followed by smaller percentages of Black or African American, Asian, Native American, and multiracial populations. Okay, yeah, I'm going to have to look at the history of Hiawassee. Yeah. Okay. The GBI stated that their preliminary findings suggest unaliving suicide, but the family strongly disputes that conclusion. We knew right away that wasn't true. Their aunt Yasmin added, they had a huge support system. We know them. They wouldn't do anything like this. To say they did this to each other, no. Something happened in the mountains and we want answers. The GBI confirmed that autopsies have been completed, but the agency is still awaiting additional forensic test results along with additional investigative work before issuing a final ruling on the cause of death. The family has created they have a campaign to help cover the funeral costs. You know, they're going to have to look at the cameras at the airport. They don't have to trace their steps. You know that it's a show where they use cameras to trace the steps of a victim. What is it called? I used to watch it all the time. They're going to have to do that. They're going to have to get them cameras and they're going to have to find out who lured those boys off. And my question is why? Okay, if you was at the airport, why did you leave the airport? Or was it some kind of taxi or Uber that took them to the airport and they never made it? Picked them up and took them to the airport. And then they didn't rob them because they wouldn't have taken the tickets because their names are on the ticket. So they would have had to present their identification to use those tickets. So, of course, they didn't take the tickets. So they didn't say anything about them being robbed. Ew, this is just so irritating. Like, I'm just so tired of this country. Oh. Let me stop jumping to conclusions, but it's just very peculiar that they would end up unalived in mountains. It's like y'all had the wrong colors to do that. The wrong colors to take to the mountains and take their lives. And people not going to be like, what the hell are y'all talking about? You know, you can't just take some black folks to the mountains and unalive them and black folks not going to be questioning what's really going on. You can't do that. What the hell? How many black people, okay, let's talk about YouTube, social media. Let's talk about this platform. How many black folks do you see videos of them talking about going to the mountains, hiking, camping? Let's have a cookout barbecue in the mountains. How many videos? I know I'm not saying there are not any people who look like me who don't go camping. I have subscribed to some videos of some women and men who look like me who go camping and fishing. I'm not saying we don't do that. I'm not saying we don't, but a lot of us don't do that. Let's be real with it. We have too much history in these mountains, in these woods, running for our lives in the Underground Railroad. So we avoid mountains and woods if possible. All right, folks. If I hear any updates, I will bring it to you. Thank you for your time and attention. I will see y'all in the next video. Take care.